E, I want you to express yourself and your thoughts about what clingy is.
Clingy is a made up term for people that get tired of a person and then all of a sudden they become clingy.
That's it.
Period. Because
Okay, we are going to start with this one. The topic is, are you ready?
hmm
We are going to address what clingy is. We're going to address the whole conversation about clingy, and we're addressing this because we got some questions in. Sent us some stuff asking about what clingy is. And then some other people have also reached out about the same thing. So is this the time of the year when people start get clingy or something? But either way, we're gonna talk about what clingy is. E, I want you to express yourself and your thoughts about what clingy is.
clingy is a made up term for people that get tired of a person and then all of a sudden they become clingy.
That's it.
Period. Because when you first met, everybody was lovey dovey, spending time with each other, puppy dog days. Y'all are always on the phone. You fall asleep on the phone, wake up, you're on the phone, going out, da 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 da. Soon as that person falls out of like or love, now you're clingy. Let me tell you something. You're not clingy. If someone loves you, there's no such thing as clingy. Period.
I have a question for you. So you don't think someone can love you but just don't like the idea of being clingy? Like if they don't like clingy, are you saying that they don't love you?
In short terms, yes.
What's in long term?
Because let me say this. For instance, for example, let's say we're a couple.
Yeah.
And let's say every time you come in the house, right, you always put your shoes at the front door. Every time I come home, I trip over your shoes all the time. I say every day, Mishak, please stop putting your shoes in the front door because I'm tripping over them when I come home. Please, please, please. But you do it because it's a habit for you. You don't mean no harm by it, but it's a habit for you, so you always do it. Will I break up with you because you won't stop putting your shoes in front of the door and I keep tripping on you? Do I unlove you because you won't stop putting your shoes in front of the door and I keep tripping on them? Like, no, that's not how it works. Clingy, clingy is a personality. Let's say somebody likes to, be around, be loved, be hugged, be touched. So they're clingy. You sacrifice certain things. So let's say I'm an introvert. I don't like the touchy, the clingy, the always being around. You sacrifice a little bit of yourself in any instance if you love someone. So that's not a problem when you love someone. You get what I'm saying? Like you can hate, I can smack all day, and you're like it's a pet peeve of you. You can't stand smacking, but you're never gonna love me less because I'm a smacker. You get what I'm saying? Like I think people take that clinginess to the extreme. And I have had a dude that I have been with that I have called clingy. Because at the end of the day, I really didn't care for him like that. If I loved you, I'm clingy hell. When I love somebody, But he was clingy with me, and I just didn't care for him like that. So yeah, he was clingy. I didn't like it. I didn't want to deal with it. Boom. Period.
I hear
How
you.
do you feel about this?
Thank you.
Coming from a male standpoint.
I think when there's a situation where someone is clingy or someone thinks that that person is clingy, it's because one might be more interested in the other than the other one. Um,
You just
and it's
repeated
not
what I
that,
said.
not that they don't love them, it's just that person A might be more interested than person B. So then person A comes off as clingy when in reality they're just trying to spend all this time with this person. And person B wants to spend all that time. It's just that they're not seeing it or feeling the same way. So whenever situations like that come up, it just needs to be talked about. However, I do know that there are situations where, based off of a person's upbringing, when it comes to showing and expressing love to someone, that is not something that they're used to. So whenever they find someone that knows how to do that, that person comes off as clingy to them, when in reality, that was normal for someone else. A lot of us just don't know or just express our love in different ways. And that's where a conversation comes in, about this whole idea of clingy. Clingy is made up, it's just that we were raised differently.
That's literally what it is. Different upbringing.
Different upbringing, we express and show love differently. Some people are willing and are able to express their love to you constantly, with that being normal. Whereas with someone else, it might be, oh my gosh, this is too much, because that's not what they're used to. They didn't grow up getting hugs. They didn't grow up getting kisses. They didn't grow up going to the movies with their family. They didn't grow up, having these difficult and loving conversations with their family. So then when they meet someone that is able to do that, willing to do that, it's like, oh my gosh. So then it's a point of where you recognize, oh, this is different. Maybe it's a growing space for me. Or I don't know, because a lot of times we look at the clingy person to be less clingy, instead of looking at the person that isn't clingy to be more, to just, like, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we always look at the
Yeah.
person that's clingy to do less, instead
Yeah.
of the person that's not clingy to do more.
Right. Right. Oh, I get what you're saying. Like we always try to tell the person that's clingy, stop being so clingy, instead of telling the person that's not clingy at all, be a little bit more clingy.
Be a little bit more clingy, whatever that
Yeah.
means to you. Like, it's literally a conversation, and
That's
it's
a good point that you brought up about the family. Like, yeah, I'm being a little dramatic in the beginning because I have some personal experience with the word clingy, but it has more to do with how a person was brought up versus if they really like you or love you or not. Now,
yep.
contrary, after a while, obviously, if you in a relationship with someone that wasn't brought up on hugs and kisses and they're not used to it, if they love you, they're gonna start getting used to it. So don't let somebody history or past dictate how you're gonna be as a person to them. Like, oh, he grew up rough or she grew up rough. They didn't get hugs and kisses, so let me dial back some so I won't run them off. No,
Good points. That's
no, you have to break that generational curse. And it is a generational curse because you have grown ups that have grown to be men and women that have been brought up in families that did not say, I love you, that did not hug, that did not kiss, that did not pick them up when they, fell on the ground. And now these adult men and women are in relationships with other people that were told, I love you, were kissed on the forehead, that saw that type of affection all the time, and they want it from you, and you're not giving it because you don't know how to give it. And
mm-hmm.
I'm giving it, so I'm clingy.
And
Or
yeah,
or maybe you're just dysfunctional. Get shots fired.
I think there's this toxic all the way around. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
dysfunctionality. I don't know if that's a word, but there's a little bit of dysfunction there. Um, it's a lot of
Either way, you are not gonna get tired of somebody you love. Period. Like they may aggravate you. You may be like, please leave me alone for the rest of the day. But you're talking about If it ever is an instance where someone's in a relationship and they tell you I can't do this too more because you're too clingy, they never liked you in the beginning.
Yes.
Trust and believe. And when you're with someone, you're gonna want that person to be all about you. I don't give a fuck how introverted you are, how effed up you grew up. Your person that you want, you're gonna want them to be all about you 100%. That's never gonna scare away somebody that actually cares about you or wants to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Bottom line, if someone is saying you're clingy, run.
Run, honey. Run, because the crazy thing is, they could be telling you you're clingy because you're probably not what they want, but they're being clingy to someone else.
That's literally it. So I might come off as clingy to Erica, and she might think that I'm clingy, but someone else might think Erica is clingy to them.
Right. Right, because you like the person, you're interested.
Run. Don't put your energy and efforts into this unless you're choosing to. Okay, do what works for you. But for me,
run.
For me, running. Do what works for you though. And then if you're the person that's saying that that other person is clingy, welcome the space of growing. Welcome the space of seeing where they're coming from.
Everybody's clingy.
Understand, everyone is clinging.
Everybody has been clingy to someone, okay? You just need to hope that the person you're clingy to actually loves you back, okay? Because if they calling you clingy, then it's an issue. Run. Literally run.
Because if you know what's crazy, if I think about this, correct me if I'm toxic in saying this, but the person that's clingy is the person that's teaching more in a situation like that. And the person that's not clingy is the person that has more to learn.
I agree.
Like, I'm trying to think. Anyways, bottom line, run. If I could put up a big run thing over here, but I'm not going to use the time to edit and all that.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Dice roll.
Literally run, girl, run, because you're gonna be trying to change yourself, and it don't matter how much changing you do. If that person just really ain't into you, they're not into you. They're just not. You're clingy to them. They don't want to be around you like that. They only want you when it's beneficial for them, when they want to feel good about the situation. I'm sorry, the person I'm with, whoever marries me, hello, Miss Clingy. I need a tag. That's me. I want to be around you. I want to be involved. If you are digging a ditch in the backyard, I'll give me a what's the stitch called? Give me a shovel too. I'm gonna dig the ditch with you.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep. And to be clear, I'm speaking for myself. To be clear, clingy doesn't necessarily mean touching all the time. It means being present.
Or texting. Or calling.
Or it could honestly be something like, hey, I'm gonna do this right now. I'll text you in a couple hours. Boom.
Yeah. People see that as that's too much. It's too much for you to let me know what you got going on. Just ghost me for 3 hours and then come back. That's more normal.
And come back and act like everything is okay. Or it could honestly be something like, hey, I'm going through something today, not in a very good mood. Give me a couple hours. I'll text you in a bit, okay? Sometimes people need their headspace, people need their time, people need their space.
And that's where communication comes in. And you say that. Comes in. That's literally all you have to say.
Because then if you don't do that communication, then what's gonna happen is after you're gonna come to me all normal and everything, and I'm gonna message and say, what was going on, what was this, whatever, and then you're gonna think that I'm clingy because I want to know everything. No, I don't.
That's exactly how it goes.
I actually don't want to know everything. That's the last thing I want to know. I just want intentional communication. However, that's that. This was a good topic. I hope the people who sent those questions in, we answered. If you're someone that is going through this, run.
Run.
if you're someone that
Yes.
the other person is clingy, stop wasting their time.
Please stop. If you
Like,
don't want to be with the person, you just don't want to be with the person. Don't call them clingy
don't
for no
call.
reason.
Just keep it moving because you know what's. This is another thing I just thought about. We need to get off of here. Another thing I thought about. I could be clingy to you, but to someone else, I'm not doing enough.
No, I just said that literally, like I'm to someone else, your effort is not enough. To this person, it's too much. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It's like this roller coaster ride. But yeah, just let it be. Let it be and keep it moving.
I have been in a situation, and I see myself as a pretty involved person. I wouldn't call myself clingy. It's called being involved. But I have been with someone that was very emotionally involved. Like it was scary. Like even a guy that I'm talking to now is very emotionally involved very quickly, and it's kind of like, like everything is like my wife, my kids. This is what I want. I'm gonna take care of you. And then, to someone else, I'd have said them same things to another person, but they're being said to me, and it's not like, I don't know why. I don't know kids.
What do I do now?
You're doing too much. I want to be a city girl. Literally, because I'm not interested. If I was interested, but it's always the people you're interested in never want you.
That's a conversation for another time.
That's a conversation for another time.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
You didn't think I was gonna have a rebuttal? Just like you just controlled us doing the second video. I'm controlling you to say you got 15 minutes before I get hangry.
The fact that you were just about to eat the whole computer. Calm down.
The what?
That's what I thought. Anyways.
You did